systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday morning. Hope everybody having a good start to their day. I'm definitely having a good start to my day because we got some early baseball. 6 games on tap for the main slate. So I'm joined by my man, Gyiraszin. Hey, anytime I'm with Gyiraszin, a lot of smiles, a lot of good times. Hopefully some good advice like we usually do get for Gyiraszin to get to the top of the leaderboards. I'm excited for this one. Only one weather game, and that is your Detroit Tigers. Orange, yellow, Roth has it right now. So we're going to talk like it plays, but definitely get in the Discord like always. If things change and we don't think it goes, we will talk and tag everyone in chat. But Gyiraszin, how we doing today?
Not too bad. Had a decent day yesterday. Got out of the show yesterday. I had to run up the bowling real fast. Had a good night bowling on the lanes last night, Title. It was a good time. But the part about yesterday, it sucked, Title. I had to go to the doctor yesterday and get an old physical. You know, when you're 53, man, they hook you up to the EKG machine and all this shit. And then at the end, she says, you got to go get a colonoscopy. I was like, oh, come on, man. How about we just skip another year? Come on, man. She's like, nope. I go, can I shit in the box and mail it in? She's like, nope, you got to go in. I was like, lady, me and you are going to have it out. But, yeah, so I got to make the call and schedule that. That's just not fun, man. It's just not fun, man. But
how many years do you have to get it? Is it every couple
years?
I'm
supposed to do it every 3 years. So I'm at 53. I did it when I was 50. But every 3 years, I guess, after. So it's just like, man, drinking that stuff. And then I got the advice. You just start wiping with the wipies right away because it gets pretty raw down in that area after a minute because you literally shit all day, all night. It's terrible, Title. So, I've been trying to keep my mind focused and be happy knowing that I got to go through that crap here soon. But, hey, it's part of getting old, I guess. There could be a better alternative. I could be, below ground. So it is what it is. And I guess I'll have to go do what I got to do.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it for sure. Yeah, I'm not excited to get to those times, but hey, like you said, it means something. You're still walking, you're still breathing, you're still having a good time. We got Go Collect, Sean, Philly Phantom, Nate D, Wardo, Michael, Jason. I just see Wardo in here. It reminds me he's in the NBA Discord a lot. Man, the NBA playoffs, a whole different ball game, damn near a whole different sport is the playoffs versus the regular season. Got some hockey playoffs starting up as well. MMA going on this week. And, of course, MLB, NASCAR on Sunday. PGA going on right now. Showdown content as well. So many sports right now. We think of no NFL, so it's a slow time. You can actually argue it's a faster time. It's just not the biggest sport, at least most of our favorite sports. But, yeah, 6 sports going on right now. We would love to have you. If you do, let me share this tab real quick. If you do want to join us at the Nation, bottom left, join the Nation is the best way to do so. 5 days for $19 is the cheapest way to get in. And if you have not tried, I think the best deal, because again, you can get access to all 6 of these sports, Discord and SaberSim, which we're about to show off. If you're just like, I play MLB, that's all I'm going to play all summer. Obviously a lot of months for the MLB season, single sport MLB, less than $1 a day. You can get in, get all of our content, only $20 more, can get access to SaberSim. So we'd love to have you. And yeah, you can't find a better deal out there. Definitely do get in the Discord if you do join. Not only just looking above MLB, a lot of different tools, stack rankings, DraftKings, FanDuel, hitter rankings, DraftKings, FanDuel can sort by positions, pitcher rankings on both sites. Of course, the Stone, which we'll show off when we're talking bats, the best place to get all of the information all in one, projections, ownership on both sites as well. Slate Plan, our man Gyirasin's on that today. You can find Cash Report and GPP Core Reports on there, as well as a Slate Breakdown. And last thing, if you have not checked it out, more education. We also have an MLB education video that breaks down cash games, satellites, tournaments, roster construction, you name it. We got it covered there. So everything you need to be successful. And Michael's been there as well. And again, all we ask, like button helps us out a ton. Yeah, anything you're about to say something. So say what you're about to say, and then it's just a
I
broad
was
slate
just gonna
overview.
say, like, the best part of, like, being a part of Ship It are exactly like days today. Everybody's at work. They're allowing to log on. They know there's a games at 12:30. It starts today. Everybody's going to be like on their lunch, 11:30, trying to figure out their stuff. Well, you don't have a lot of time to break down a slate and get into it like maybe you normally would. Well, you can come on, Ship It, check it out. We got all these tools for you. It's kind of like some shortcuts. You can still kind of stay in your lane, play how you like. We got the SaberSim, the great optimizer, fix it the way you want, spin it up. I mean, we kind of give you the tools to take some shortcuts, so to speak, and still have the good information and feel good about what you're doing. So, I mean, on days like today, like football, you got all damn week to figure that shit out. You hear everybody's, information all week, and then you make your, judgments what you want to do. Baseball's quick, man. Like, it's next day. Last night, I was watching the games how late. I wake up today, shit, I got to go get right back on it and start grinding the title. But
absolutely.
It does help. I mean, even the best players in all DFS have, basically probably memberships to all of the, sites. We want to consume as much information as possible. But, I mean, definitely having Ship It. We're one of the cheapest, one of the best. And we try to have fun along the way. That's why I talk about, having to go to the shitty doctor. No pun intended. But, I mean, hey, we got 6 games today. It's always fun trying to make title laugh. So, let's break it down. Have some fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. Very good point for you, like you said. I mean, SaberSim, when you have all of our content, again, you can find it all right there. And if you're making multiple teams, SaberSim makes it really easy. Just a quick thing, stack exposure. I click stack type. I uncheck all of them. I pretty much just run 5-3, 5-2. I know Rio sometimes in the 4-4s, 5-1-1-1, 4-3. Like, you can keep it pretty open. But right there, just clicking all these buttons limits what you're going to do. Team stacks. For your 5-man stacks, I like sorting by projected runs. This is very easy on the slate. The Yankees, 0.9 runs higher than the next. They're definitely going to be the chalk. But if you don't want to stack, let's say Washington, LA, and the White Sox for 5-mans, you can uncheck them there. If you want to uncheck any players or set min-max, you name it, very easy is SaberSim to navigate. And again, we're showing the stone, the slate plan. You should have that up on a different screen to help narrow down your player pool. But yeah, let's get into pitching. Good to see you, Big Nades. Broad slate overview, very easy. Yankees, 0.9 run total higher than the next team on the slate. They're going to be the chalk at bats. And unfortunately, like Trent Grisham leading off is still 3.6K. Like they're expensive, like the Aaron Judge is at 6.5K, but there's plenty of cheap bats to make it easy to fit. So what's that going to lead when we get to pitching? Actually, let's set this filter. I always like to do this. Show players with my projection greater than 4. I don't want any, and then hide filter right here. So let's show actually what we're looking at. And then when we're sorting by projection at pitching, it's Max Fried and Chase Burns. Sorting by ownership, Max Fried, Chase Burns. And I do agree, Max Fried will be the highest owned pitcher, Fried and the Yankees. And then I do think Chase Burns probably will be SP2. However, it's a little closer when we're talking about the other players that you're the other players in the pitching pool that's going to be competing for SP2 ownership. But Fried with Yankees is the chalk. Let's see if we can get different on this slate. And you know what, Gyiraszin? I say you take us through all of these pitchers if that's how you think the best way to do it. If you want to go 7.8K Ashcraft all the way up to Fried, you can do it that way. But I think we're going to have some cross-offs down below. So I'll let you take the whole pitching pool as a whole.
All right. Yeah, we'll just start at the bottom. Leisure, that dude's, I think he's just pretty much an opener. I'm not interested. Soder, I'm not interested in. Patrick Corbin, man, I'd have to have about 10 or so lucky ones and about 5 freaking joints to even thinking about playing Patrick Corbin. That's just not going to happen. I wish the Brewers just had a little bit better righty bats, or I'd be just all over them today. And then Griffin, I like the Pirates here in this spot. I'm not a fan of Griffin at all. Sproat, I can't even do that either. I cross him off. And then K, I'm not interested in. Montero, even though he's a Tiger, I do worry about the weather in that game. Him and Bubic, I am a little bit concerned about the weather. But Montero did come out last time against Miami. He had a really good start. To start before that, he wasn't too good. This guy's like a yo-yo, man. You just don't know. He's up and down, up and down. You don't know what the hell you're going to get. I mean, on a slate like today, I guess You could leave him in. I mean, the Royals don't really strike out all that much. I don't really recommend it, but I mean, we got 6 games, 7 on FanDuel if you want to look at it that way. But Montero, I don't know. I'd say he's a borderline cross title for me. But moving up, Braxton Ashcraft, I do like him now. I think he's one of my favorites, actually, especially at the price we're looking at him at. I mean, Ashcraft, he's got the Nats teams, 25% strikeout guy. I think he's a great pivot off Fried. I don't like Fried at all today. We can just say that off the start. I mean, Ashcraft, he's young. I just think he's got mid-20, a little bit above normal strikeout range here. But I think you look at some of these bats here that the Nats are going to throw out here today. There are some Ks. James Wood, 33%. House has got 28%. There are some guys here in the middle of that lineup, mid 17%. But I think Ashcraft above the 22% is a guy on a short slate like today that I can maybe hang my hat on today against a Nats team that I just don't think is very good. I think he's got some win equity there. He could get me a quality start. So I think Ashcraft is definitely interesting. I'd put him in my top group there. Rupp, I think, is interesting as well against Cincinnati. I don't like the park. He's been getting some innings. The last game he had one earned run. I think he's interesting. He's in play for me. Isn't a guy that I'm normally going to be looking at here. He doesn't really walk guys. He doesn't really give up, too many fly balls here. Let me just make sure I'm telling you right here from what I remember. Yeah, he doesn't really give up too many fly balls. A little bit, kind of a middle lean to the righties, but ground ball lean. So I don't mind him at all. I think the Reds, I just don't like that lineup they have over there, even though Sal Stewart's smacking the shit out of the baseball for the Reds. But, then moving up, I guess I'd kind of have Roop like in the middle of the pack. Matz, I think, is interesting against a shitty White Sox team. I think Steven Matz is a guy that I might want to look at. 8,500, I don't mind that at all. He's actually looked good his last 2 starts. Shit, I think he's got 15 Ks his last 2 starts. So I don't mind Matz at all. And then moving up from Matz, I think Burns is the guy that's I think I really like this guy, but title, I think I kind of like to play against him too. Burns is either going to strike you out or he's going to give up a fly ball. And I think the Giants do have some guys on the left side, Devers, that I think could get to Burns and hit some fly balls in a home run friendly park. So I do like to play Burns today. I really do like Burns. I think he's actually my favorite pivot off of Fried today, but I do have a little bit concerns about his fly ball lean. So especially out there in Cincinnati, but I do think he's a great player. I'd really like Bubic a little bit more. I think he'd be my number 1 pivot. I'm just a little bit concerned about the weather. Tigers haven't really been hitting for shit. We know Riley Green probably strike out 3 or 4 times. So I think Bubic would be an interesting play. I just kind of have to keep your eyes on the weather. And Max Fried, he's a full couple points ahead of everybody else in all of the optimizers. So, they got him way up ahead of everybody else. Max Fried / chalk to me just like tells my brain, well, no. I'm not a fan title. Max Fried, I just can't do it. And I think I'd rather have a righty against the Angels, as we've discussed before. Angels don't strike out as much against the lefties as they do the righties. And Fried hasn't really been striking anybody out. If you look at him so far this season, we could pull him up here. I think he's at less than 20% strikeout rate to both sides of the plate so far this season. And, I'm just not a fan. 20% to the right side. He's at 16% to the left side. We know he's going to see a bunch of righties. He's not what he was really up to this point from last season. I don't know. I'm just not a fan. I just don't seem right to me. So I'd rather take chances on guys like Burns, Ashcraft, Rupp, Matz. I think those are the guys where I'd rather live. Bubic, I think that's where I'd rather be today. I'm just not a fan of Fried at all. No thanks. I think, like you said, a lot of lineups are going to have Fried and Yankees in it today. So I'll just start out by being different and just full fade Fried and then try to pay down a little bit at pitching. I think Ashcraft at his price is a great play. And then throw in Matz or Burns. I could live with that.
It's hard for me to disagree too much. You have definitely people in chat on the same side as you. Let's see. Angels been, talking about Angels been hot. So they're all free. Nate was talking Angels power. Like you said, looking at projection, 19.45 for Fried, 16.89 for Burns. So like 2.8 points roughly, something like that. 2.4 or 2.6 that more for Fried than the next highest on the slate, where salary doesn't really mean too much. So this 50% is definitely real. He has the same K prop as Chase Burns at 6.5 plus 100 on the over. And then after that, it's a decent drop off to actually Landon Rope is 5.5 minus 126 on the over. In my opinion, when we get there, Rope is probably my favorite on the slate. It's hard, like Nate said, 20 to 25% postponement chance in Detroit. Again, we're going to talk like it plays right now. It very well might not. If it doesn't, this Bubic ownership only goes more to Fried and more to Burns. And then I think the Mats and Rope gets even more interesting. Like Mats, I like picking on the White Sox. Who doesn't at the end of the day? Should have a little run support, possibly. If you're looking right here, Tampa 4.7, the second highest on the slate, only 3.8 for the White Sox. 4.5 K prop and a decent amount of juice on the over at minus 142. Like that's very solid on a slate like this for me. Give me 16, 17, especially if this KC and Detroit game becomes unplayable and his ownership will be in check. So Fried's like, if you're playing 20 teams, you should at least have 30% Fried, in my opinion. If you're getting crazy and do it full fading or whatever, I would at least get probably 20%, 30% Angels, because if Fried fails, I do think the Angels are probably getting after him more so than two other pitchers just scoring 25 on their own and Fried 17 being okay, just like isn't enough. I don't think it's really necessarily that slate. As you see with these projections, if Fried doesn't get there, I think he's more likely going to get hit up than just have a moderate game and other pitchers just have their ceiling outcome. So if I'm not playing Fried, I'm a lot more inclined to play Angels in those lineups. Again, 6.5 K prop, 3.9 run total for the Angels. He's at home, which is good, but also bad because it's Yankee Stadium. Bubic, I do like Bubic if that game is playable, especially if people are concerned about it. Sandwich in between the more popular Fried, Burns. Love what you said about Burns. You can play him in some teams. Then you can play the Giants and other teams. He is one of those pitchers, kind of like Kikuchi, like we talk about. I like Mats again with a good matchup. I like Rope, like I mentioned. And then, yeah, Montero, no thank you, really. Pitch counts down there, the weather, all of that. I know you said he's a wild card. Ashcraft and Foster Griffin. I left Griffin in here. It's mainly just like you're getting two pitchers that are very cheap to get you different on the slate without much ownership. That should go over 80 pitches, which is kind of close on this slate. And they're playing in Pittsburgh, a pitcher's park that I'm fine with. The Nats have been hitting a little bit. Like you got to get Brandon Lowe out, but there's some strikeouts to be had as well. I don't mind Griffin or Ashcraft. Looking at the K props on both of these guys, 4.5 for Ashcraft, minus 157 on the over. That's pretty good on this slate. That's actually really solid for the price. And Foster Griffin, 4.5, minus 103 on the over. Better than Montero, better than Corbin, better than Sprout. So yeah, I think it's totally fine to dumpster dive if you do want to do that. I'm more likely to probably play him with the Fried, and again, maybe a Chase Burns, but I'm more likely to eat chalk around when I am going to Ashcraft Griffin. Just know, though, that many people will probably do the same, and that'll be a lot of Yankee stacks. So if you play Ashcraft for Griffin and you don't stack the Yankees, I do think that is a way to get a little different and spend up maybe for one of these other teams. But if I had to rank pitching, I really like the Rope and Mats mid-tier. And yeah, maybe it's just the Chase Burns, and then you just stack against Chase Burns when you're not playing him. I'll kind of tell you guys on Fried's looking to be very, very popular, and you can definitely poke some holes in them. Anything that I mentioned stand out to you, change your mind, or any final thoughts at pitching?
Yeah, I mean, the more I look at it here while you were talking about Rupp, I mean, there's a lot of Ks in that Cincinnati lineup. I mean, they got one dude, TJ Friedel, up at top of that lineup, under 22%. Everybody else, 27, 25, 22, 29, 27, 33. I mean, they got some Ks in that lineup for Rupp. I mean, when you had mentioned that what his K prop is, I thought that was kind of interesting to be up there with Burns. But, I think what we got to do is just, to me, it's pretty easy. I'm just fading Fried, and I think that'll make me a little bit different, probably than half of the field already. If you're MMEing. So after that, I mean, I think the Yankees are in such a good spot. I'm almost to the point where I would just full jam some Yanks title and try to get different with some pitching. And I think we got some decent options down here to mix it up. But I mean, I just that Angel team that bullpen sucks, man. I think they're going to smash them here today. And usually during the day, the Yankees just crush at Yankee Stadium. So give me a bunch of Yankees, but I think paying down for pitching is a way to go. I think I'd just reverse build and build my bats and see what I got left.
I really like that, especially if you are going to jam chalk Yankees bats, which, to be honest, it's really hard to argue that. I think there's other teams that are a little interesting, but if you're not going to play Fried, you don't like chalk pitcher as much, you like chalk bats, so then you're limiting your player pool here, and then you got Matz, Rope, Ashcraft, Griffin that you're all fine playing, Burns, who's going to be popular, but you're also fine playing San Fran. So the two chalkiest pitchers on the slate, Fried and Burns, we're both fine not playing either of them and then jamming Yankees bats and get different that way. So I do like your idea on this slate when we think pitching is relatively close and you don't like if you just take away Fried right here, 16.89 projection for Burns, and then 11.22 is a little different, but still 5 points for $1,900 in salary and 1/7 of the ownership. Like, it's baseball. One bad inning. We just saw Garrett Crochet get negative 24 or whatever it was last week. Like, anything can happen. So 4 or 5 points for 1/7, 1/8 of the ownership to upgrade at different spots is totally viable on this slate. So again, I would keep Fried.
Crochet did go on the DL too title. Usually when that happens to a dude, they go on the DL the next couple days. Like, something's wrong.
That's respect, though. Sometimes it's not your day. You know what I mean? That's baseball. You don't got to fake an injury or say this or that. Hey, you're still it's a long.
He's probably tipping his pitches and didn't even know it. Usually you get shelved like that, you're tipping something. It usually that's the case. They got something on you or somebody had something on them.
It's always the Twins, man. I remember, I don't know if it was 2 years ago, 3, 4. I don't know why it sticks in my brain, but Garrett Cole, mega chalk. The Twins jump on them for like 7 or 8 runs in the first inning, whenever this was as well. They did it to Crochet. Again, the Twins they get the chalk pitchers at times. And that slate was wild, though. I don't even know if 5 Twins were on the winner. Like, the amount of double dongs that day was absolutely out of this world. So balls are flying. Maybe the juice balls are back. What's up, Parabai? Good to see you. Nades likes Griffin K-prop a little bit. So, yeah, this would be my pitching pool. I would have Max Fried in there. But monitor, again, Bubik, the KC-Detroit game, orange-yellow Roth has. So there's a chance that one gets scrapped. Get in the Discord, follow him on Twitter. You can find him at Prop Finder, his weather report. That is free. So check that out. All right. Let me share the Stone. And let me zoom out so you can see everything. The best tool
I share
in
the
DFS.
Stone a lot too.
There you go. The good stuff. All right, let's get into this first game. The Pirates and the Nats. Ashcraft and Foster Griffin on the mound. Again, 2 pitchers, and you can see in our pitcher rankings, not grading out terrible. 2 pitchers that I will be in my pool that I have some interest in, but bats relatively low owned on this slate. The Pirates looking at a solid run total. Brandon Lowe is in the lineup. It's lefty, so he's down there a little bit. But, man, he's been smacking the baseball. James Wood has as well. Any interest on the Pirates or the Nats side?
I mean, I think Brian Reynolds is interesting on the Pirates. I think really the Pirates stack is kind of interesting for me.
I mean,
what's that?
He's not. I'm not seeing him in the lineup because he lefty.
All right, he ain't in the lineup. I thought he was in the lineup. Well,
unless the Stone's wrong, but
Brian Reynolds is a switch hitter, so I don't know why he wouldn't be in there, but
yeah, I'm not. Nope, that lineup's confirmed. No Brian Reynolds.
Right.
You are right. He is a switch hitter.
When I was looking at it earlier, when you wake up in the morning title, all the lineups aren't out yet. But
no, you're right. You're right.
Griffin's been getting barreled up by righties lately, actually, and this Nats bullpen sucks. So even if Griffin goes out and throws 4 or 5 decent innings, you're still getting that Nats bullpen that's absolutely horrible. So on just how bad that bullpen alone is, I got the Pirates ranked up there pretty high, not even close to the Yankees, but I do have the Pirates ranked up there pretty high. I mean, I could just see him going off at the end of this, at the end of this game here. I mean, O'Neal Cruz, this dude is, if he wasn't in Pittsburgh, they'd be calling him one of the next, great superstar type players if he was in like New York, LA, or whatever else. But yeah, I like the Pittsburgh lineup here. I'm just going to attack that Nats bullpen. That's pretty much where most of my thought lies there. I'm just going to keep attacking the Nats bullpen.
All right. I was taking a little different approach, and this lineup actually looks pretty gross to me. So I think Foster Griffin's a little interesting, but like you said, you made the case for the bullpen. You can get it there. But I don't mind playing some Foster Griffin the more I look at this lineup. Like, I mean, Joey Bart, Connor Griffin, Billy Cook, 7, 8, 9, and Lowe's got K's in the 6. York hasn't been good. O'Neal Cruz, there's K's in there. I mean, I think Griffin's more and more interesting as I look at it. The Nats, you're not getting direct leverage because Ashcraft is pretty low owned, but look at that. Lefty, 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 switch, switch. 7 of the 9 hitters will have the platoon advantage. I think James Wood, Luis Garcia, Lyle, CJ Abrams, like all of these, four of the 5 top 5 hitters are lefties. I think all of them are very strong. If you're eating a lot of chalk and you need to fill out a 2,400 catcher and all that, sure. It's not my favorite way to approach it, but 1 through 5 on the Nats, I think is a little interesting on this slate, especially if you are going Max Fried or you're wanting to play Judge or eat some chalk. I do think Nats, guaranteed 9th inning at bats. And those guys have been pretty solid up top. So I like how many lefties they have. Nats would actually be my preferred side at very low ownership, but neither side is top of the slate by any means. I prefer actually both pitchers than I would to stack up 5-man on either side. Let's go to the Reds and the Giants. Landon Rope and Chase Burns, 2 pitchers that are getting some ownership, which usually means 2 bats that are not. Yeah, I'll let you take this one away. Again, you mentioned earlier Chase Burns you can go both sides with, but do you have any interest? So you're going to play some Giants. Do you have any interest in these Reds?
No, I mean, I don't really want to pick on Landon Roop here. I mean, if anybody, I guess you could play Ellie De La Cruz. I mean, Sal Stewart's been hitting the ball, but they got too many Ks over. I think I'd just rather play Roop. But I think on the other side of it, I think the Giants are interesting, even though I do like Burns. I think you're going to get some decent leverage if you do decide to stack up some Giants. As I mentioned, fly ball lean to the left side. So you're looking at guys like, Devers, Jung-Ho Lee. I think those guys are in play. Chapman always, Adames. But I think Devers is a very interesting play, even as a one-off. So, I mean, Burns is a guy, if you don't want to go full Giants, maybe just jam Devers in. You're going to get some leverage. If he hits a bomb off Burns and he's 30%, you get some leverage off of it. But, I mean, we got a home run park. We got a guy who's either going to strike you out or he's giving up a fly ball. So I'm just kind of basing off if he gives up some fly balls, maybe we get a couple to go over the fence for us. I mean, Burns could give up 2 or 3 homers and still strike out 7, 8 guys. So, I mean, it's definitely – something that could be there. I'd put the Giants in my low owned pool. I'm not like overly excited about it, but I do think Burns is a guy that you could look at attacking just because of his fly ball lean.
Would you be fine playing Burns and Devers in the same lineup? It's a 6-game slate. Could be a 5-game slate. I tend to usually do 3 or 4 games, but when Fried projected at 19, Burns 16, and no one else higher, I think it's more viable when you're not expecting some pitchers to break the slate.
I do. I mean, I like doing that too. Like you said, when they're small, a shorter field. I think really it's more viable today, Title, just because when you think about it, just because of the leverage you may get off of Burns. So, yeah, I could see it. I mean, you could definitely, like I said, he could give up 2 or 3 homers. Devers could hit 2 of them, and he could still strike out 7 or 8 guys. And if that's the case, you're going to be way ahead of everybody else. So, yeah, I don't mind that thought at all. I wouldn't say it's something that I would go out of my way to do. But, I mean, if you Devers is only 2,900. I mean, he's fairly cheap. So, I mean, I don't mind that at all. I mean, you see right here, that whole Giant stack is cheap. So, I mean, it's definitely there. I think you could definitely look at it that way. I'm not like that overly, like I said, a big fan of it, but I mean, on 6 games, but I could see the reasoning why, and more so, I think I would lean to it just because I said the leverage.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want lefties against Burns. He's tough on righties. I mean, just all the numbers, the control, the fly ball percentage, the ISO, you name it, it's there. The problem is, like Arise, not much pop. He'll always get on base. He's 4K and he fills out a second base spot, so I don't hate it, but you're not getting too many homers. Then you have Willie and Chapman. Like they went lefty, righty, and a good amount of lefties down below. I think with the direct leverage it gets you, that I think the Giants are pretty good. I just always love the park. You get the guaranteed 9th inning at bat. You're getting leverage off the second highest owned pitcher on the slates. And yeah, like if I'm stacking the Giants, like Devers is almost surely in there. Brennan min price is interesting. Again, the salary isn't too tight on this slate, but min price is min price. 2K for Gilbert, 2.1K for Bailey. If I am playing the Giants, I'm almost probably playing Fried, and then I'm probably playing like Judge or some other spend ups around it because I'm going to have to use some of my salary, but I don't hate it. The problem is, like, I want Chapman, Adames. Like, I mean, they got pop, but man, he's tough on righties. But if they get to Burns early, you get the bad part of the bullpen. You're getting very low owned pieces in this Giants team against subpar relievers. And yeah, I think it's pretty good. I prefer personally the Giants than I do the Angels. I'm curious of your thoughts when we get there. Obviously, Angels been hot. Fried will be higher owned, but yeah, I can see the Giants, especially mini stacks, are very much in play. But 5-man stacks, I would keep them in my 20 max pool. I don't know as much about the Reds. Not only are they going to be a little higher owned, Ropes lower owned than Burns, and I actually think he's very interesting on this slate. You said just Ellie or pass for you? Sal Stewart obviously got to be in the pool. He's seeing the
pretty
ball
much
real well.
just Ellie or pass. I mean, I think I'd rather play Rupp, but I mean, you mentioned Stewart. I think he's got like 7 home runs or something. I think he leads rookies already with 7 home runs. But yeah, I mean, I think I'd rather play the Giants. Devers just sticks out. If you ask me a home run call, I'll tell you Devers.
Yeah, he looks really strong for sure. All right, next game, the Royals Tigers. Chris Bubik, Peter Montero on the mound. Very similar to Chase Burns in the sense of Montero, you want to attack lefties. He's obviously not as strong against righties. You can play either side of the plate, but lefties for sure stand out. Vinny P, Carter Jensen, Caglione, Massey, Isbell. So they do have lefties in here. Again, it's questionable that this game does play, but if it does at ownership, I think Royals probably my favorite stack on the slate. They're not expensive outside of Bobby Witt, 5'8". No one else is expensive. And I love that you can wrap it around down below. Like I like Caglione in the 7 spot. You can play Massey at second base. Isbell's my least favorite at 3-2. You don't need to play him. Carter Jensen and Salvi, both catchers, so they're going to eat into each other's ownership a little bit. I prefer Carter Jensen because of the platoon, but nothing bad to say about Salvi. So you can go third base, you can go second base. No, let me take this back. This is how my favorite way to go. 7, outfield. 8, second base. Third base, I don't know. Then you can pick 2 of the 3 here. Garcia, Witt, Vinny P. fills out onesie positions, and then fill it out with Carter Jensen. So 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pick one there. Pick 5 of those 7 guys is my favorite way to go about that Royal stack. Hopefully people are scared about weather. Again, assuming that Ross still has it orange-yellow, guaranteed 9th inning at bats. Montero, not very good, especially against the left side of the plate. I think the Royals at ownership is very good on this slate. I'll let you talk about your Tigers, though. I respect Chris Bubik personally.
Yeah, Tigers have a hard time with Bubik. In this game, I mean, I'm 20 minutes down the road from Comerica, and it's raining here pretty good. It don't look like it's going to let up anytime soon. And it's been raining here for days, man. We got a good one. The thunderstorm woke us up in the middle of the night the other night. But as far as the Royals go, man, Bobby Witt Jr. on FanDuel is like cheap as shit. He's like $3,000. It's like
crazy.
He's like double the price over there on DK.
Acuna too. Not today, but yesterday, I think Acuna was 3.1K on FanDuel.
Yeah, I mean, the pricing over there on FanDuel, it's like you can just literally stack whoever you want. But, I mean, I like Vinny P against Montero. The only thing with the Royals, I just don't have them ranked all that high title. The Tigers bullpen is really good. Like, they're really good. I'm not going to say just because I'm a homer, but I think it's one of the best in baseball. It's pretty deep. Now, if you can get to Montero pretty early, you might be able to get to some of the long relief guys that may not be as good as the back half of that bullpen. But, I guess Vinny P would be a guy I'd probably start with in my stacks against the lefties. I mean, Montero was really bad against lefties last year. So I think I'd go there. But with Bobby Witt being so cheap on FanDuel, I definitely want to look that way. But, you look at the bottom part of that lineup there with the three lefties they're going to be throwing at him. I don't mind Jock down there at the bottom in the 7 spot. And, you could throw in one of these cheap guys here on the bottom to round it out for you. I'm just skeptical on the Royals because we know last year I teased them all last year not having any power. They couldn't hit. It ain't worth stacking them. I'm giving them a little chance here to start out the season. So I'm not quite there yet where they're going to be on my list, but they're always on the radar there. But I do respect the bullpen enough of the Tigers, and plus with the weather, I'm not a fan at all of either side of this game here today.
All righty. We differ a little bit. I like the Royals. You don't like this game, but more importantly, just keep following Roth and see if it plays. Get in the Discord because, this game very well could get postponed and make it a 5-game slate on DraftKings. Let's go to the chalkiest game on one side. Everyone's going to Max Fried. Everyone's going to these Yankees with, team total around 6, taking on Brent Suter and the Angels. Good park. Suter's no good. The southpaw. Soft throwing southpaw. I mean, Judge probably goes deep again. 1 through 9 in play on the Yankees. It's not going to sneak past anyone, though, as you can see at this crazy, crazy ownership. And then, Angels been hitting a little bit. Mike Trout, I mean, the prettiest swing in baseball right now. One of the best of all time. One of my favorites for sure, but definitely can play him. He's 3%. I don't know. I guess I wouldn't be surprised if it was a little higher, but no one's playing the Angels. So are you playing any Angels?
Nah, nobody's really going to be playing any Angels. Maybe I'd throw in a one-off, throw in Trout just because he's been hitting the shit out of the baseball. I mean, if you wanted to look that route, I think I'd just rather fade Fried and not double up on it. But, I mean, you would get some decent leverage. The Angels are up there in baseball, right, with the Dodgers as far as slugging percentage and everything else here coming out the gate the first 17, 18 games. So definitely hitting the ball well, but that Yankees bullpen's pretty good too. So I don't know. I think I just pass on the Angels. I do think they're a little bit sneaky, but the Yankees for me is fairly easy. I mean, you got what? Walmart, Urena, whatever you want to call him. I mean, you look back at his numbers in the minors title, he's below average strikeout pitcher who's got a ground ball lean. It seems like we've been having dudes with ground ball leans all week against the Yankees. We know the Yankees can hit some fly balls. That Angel bullpen is not very good. I think the Yankees put up a bunch of runs here today. So Ben Rice stands out for me. Grisham up at the top of the lineup. I think Ahmad Rosario is like one of the only guys I worry about getting pitch hit for so far this year with the Yankees. But, I mean, I like them all. Bellinger, I think all the lefties here for me are going to be in play. Give me all the Yankees. I think all the Yankees are good. I think I'd just rather load, as I said, I'm going to load up on a bunch of Yankees. I'm going to mix up my pitching, maybe throw in some Giants with some Yankee stacks, mix in some Brewers with my Yankee stacks, and just let it play out. But I think the Yankees for me are just – normally I don't wouldn't say the full ride of team, but I just think the Yankees are so far above everybody today. I just think that's the best way to do it, try to get different elsewhere.
85 degrees, looks like wind blowing out a little bit. Already a good hitter's park. I mean, that's why this total's way up there. Bad pitcher on the other side. It's hard to get away, but at the end of the day, it is baseball, and ownership even means more because it's such a high variant sport. What I'll say is when you are playing 5 Yankees, I mean, you can play 5 Yankees, not play Grisham, Judge, and then you don't have to get as crazy. If you are playing Grisham, Judge, at least one of them, and you're 5-manning Yankees, I'd really be cautious of what you're doing at the other spots. Are you fading Max Fried and Chase Burns? Are you fading just Max Fried? Is your secondary stack the Reds or the Tigers or something really low after that? I would just be really cautious when you are starting to play them. I actually think they're probably better in larger field stuff where the ownership seems to spread out a little more than like the 121 or some of the single entries where they could get up to like 40%. There's always a number where ownership gets too high, in my opinion, especially on the bat side. Now you can still play them as a mini stack. Like it can be a 4-3 game and Judge still hit a home run and you still need him as your mini stack as a one-off or something like that. And you 5-man something else. So I like the Yankees. I'll play a bunch of them too. But when you play them, I'd really be cautious on what you're doing with the other parts of your team. They get a little different. All right, let's take it to the Brewers and the Blue Jays. Patrick Corbin, Brandon Sproat on the mound. I think this is an interesting – I think you can make a case on both sides. Now, like you said, for the Brew Crew, they just don't, I think, have the pop 1 through 9 where I like them. It feels like a game Patrick Corbin can navigate. Now, I like William Contreras in the 2 spot. I think Gary Sanchez is interesting as well in the 3-hole. Like their best bats, though, no Yelich, obviously. Turang, lefty, which is fine. But at 5.9K, that's a sticker shock up there. Jake Bauer's really been hitting the ball, but again, lefty. I want to like the Brewers more than I do. It feels like Corbin could navigate this one and still put up like 12 DraftKings points. Blue Jays at ownership, though, I'll let you talk about them. They did the job for me last week. The bottom of the order I'm struggling with a little bit, but I do think top of the order, not really getting much ownership, could do some damage early. So what do you see?
Yeah, I'd really like to like the Brewers more. I mean, going after Patrick Corbin, that's always a good time. But, Dirty Sanchez stands out right there in the middle of that lineup, a cheap catcher that you could definitely play. I really like Contreras too, William Contreras sitting there up there. He'll be top of that lineup too. So he's a guy that I'd be looking to play. Now, as far as the Jays go, I mean, Sprout's supposed to be – he's supposed to be a fairly decent pitcher. He's just not there yet. But, I don't know. The Blue Jays so far, it seems like they've been chalky quite a bit and just they've already scarred me a few times, it seems like, Title. I just not all that happy with playing them. You got the righty Sprout. You just look at Lucas, probably the top. I think Varsho is very, very interesting. I think he'd be the guy probably – would be at the top of my list as far as any Blue Jay I'd want to play would be Varsho. But other than that, I don't know, maybe mini stacks. I wouldn't 5-man the Blue Jays today. I just not a fan.
Sprout's last 3 games, talking DraftKings points, negative 7.25 against the White Sox in his first start, 3 against KC, 7 against Washington. He has not figured it out yet, and he has his toughest matchup to date on paper for his 4th start in his career. So, yeah, at ownership, single digits, when that's what Sprout's done against pretty bad teams so far. Blue Jays got me a shipper last week. I don't like him nearly as much this week, but if I'm playing them, I'm just really focusing on the top of the order because, A, their pricing is very reasonable. They stand out pretty solid in the hitter rankings. Guaranteed 9th inning at bat. The roof's going to be closed, I imagine. I know Milwaukee's got a lot of bad storms, kind of like you guys have. You can find worse hitting environments than that. So, yeah, I think Blue Jays are an interesting contrarian spend. I think I prefer Giants over them in a vacuum because of the leverage you're getting off of the pitching. Like, Sproat's not going to get any ownership, but they're going to be low owned, are the Blue Jays. And I think if you want to play Max Fried or you want to play some Yankees minis, you can do worse than a Blue Jays 5-man. So that's how I see it. Let's take us in to the last game of the night or of the day. First, again, let me just share this. For anyone that did join late, appreciate everyone hanging out. Again, like button, subscribe button. Helps us out a ton if you want to join us. Over here at The Nation, we have NBA playoffs, PGA going on, Showdown the next couple of days. Of course, MLB, MMA this week, NASCAR, and NHL playoffs. 6 sports going on. Bottom left, join The Nation. We would love to have you. I think the best deal to get in is this 5 days for $19. You will get access to all of these sports above. You'll get in to the Discord, which is the best community around, very big piece of our product over here, and access to SaberSim, the best optimizer around. All of that for only $19. All of these sports, 6 sports going on. If you're just playing MLB for the whole summer and you want our package, single sport over here, find MLB and you can get in less than $1 a day for all of our content. If you do want to add SaberSim, just $20 more. And yeah, actually SaberSim doesn't even offer single sport packages for the month. So you cannot find this deal anywhere close, anywhere else. So we'd love to have you. A lot of different options. 5 days for $19 if you want to try a lot of sports. Otherwise, single sports, MLB is the way to go. The last game, the Rays and the White Sox, Steven Matz, Anthony Kay on the mound. I mentioned I already like some Steven Matz. But yeah, I mean, if you're really saying the White Sox are 1%, 1 through 9, if you're 1% on a 6-game slate, you can argue, I mean, you can play anyone. Again, I'm team Matz over the White Sox. The Rays, the second chalkiest team. If this ownership is true, like 20, 21, 17, 20 of the guys that I really, really want, that makes it really tough for me. So I'll let you talk about it. Like, I would just rather eat more chalk and play the Yankees than I would be to play 15 to 20% of some of the Rays that I do want to play. It would make me want to go more to the bottom of the order. Like, I think Cedric Mullins is pretty strong. Nick Fortes at catcher, I think, would be fine. I never like clicking like Taylor Walls, but yeah, if I'm seeing this ownership correctly, I think the Blue Jays at a lot lower ownership. I think the Royals at lower ownership, the Giants, even the Nats. So yeah, I guess the Rays would fall down the list if this ownership is true. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to start out with this K guy lefty. I think it's basically just going to be a bullpen game. But Caminero, I think, is my favorite play in this whole game. I mean, look at that. He's one of my favorite bats on the slate today. So if I'm looking for a third baseman one-off, I think Caminero is in a really good spot. I mean, I don't mind Yandy Diaz, Aranda. I don't know. I just don't like it as much as the Opta. When I spin Optos, Rays are popping up. Title, like when I've been spinning my Opto, when they've been popping up for me. So don't know if that's just telling me they're a cheap stack for me to put with my Yankees. It kind of seems like throwing.
They have the second highest team total. Like that's the thing, especially on FanDuel. Or so we'll talk FanDuel quick. FanDuel Caminero at third base only being 2.9K is going to be mega chalk. On DraftKings, where like everyone's going to go Yankees, I think Aranda at first and Caminero at third are definitely going to be there. But then Yandy's going to get some. The Rays are going to get ownership. I don't necessarily know if it's going to be this high, but they have the second highest run total, guaranteed 9th inning at bats. Like Nate said, decent weather in Chicago for hitting. I don't know necessarily this high, but they're going to be owned for sure. Caminero on FanDuel, and then DraftKings, some Aranda, some Yandy at the top of the order.
Yeah, that obviously that White Sox bullpen, which we know isn't very good either. So I do like attacking shitty bullpens. That's why I was saying earlier going against the Nats. The Nats have been bad. Nats already give up 20 home runs already out of that bullpen. I mean, that's just god awful. They haven't even played that many games. But you know, I think Caminero stands, as you mentioned, a little bit better on FanDuel. I mean, FanDuel, like we mentioned with the pricing, I mean, they had Acuna really cheap. They got freaking Bobby Witt, 3K. You got Caminero under 3K. It's pricing is just out of whack. But yeah, I mean, I don't
Caminero is a one-off. Sorry to interrupt. Caminero is a one-off on FanDuel seems really bad to me. Eating mega chalk one-off in that, like if I'm doing it, I just want 3 Rays around him so their whole team goes off. Aranda's not in the lineup, so did it just come out? All right, let me refresh. Oh, it's not updated yet. Keep talking. I'm going to find this updated. Oh, yeah, it came 19 minutes ago. What are we doing? Simpson up first. Caminero, Seti Mullins to the 3-hole, which unfortunately that actually raises some ownership. Yandy 4, Vlade 5, Williamson. I think he's probably going to be pretty cheap. Second base. So this team actually might you talk, and I'm going to find I'm going to try and like think it all through with pricing and stuff with how ownership's going to go. So you talk about it, and then I'll follow up with the updated lineup.
What do you want me to talk about? The Rays?
I interrupted you. So what you were going and saying?
Shit, I lost my damn train of thought already. Title. It went in one ear and went out the other. But I mean, today's slate, I think, is really interesting all around. I think there's some good options we can play as far as bats. We got some low-owned bats. We can play some leverage today off some pitching. If you wanted to go against Fried, you can do that with a Hot Angels team. You can go against Burns, who I think is going to be the second chalky. So we've come up with reasons today to actually attack two of the chalkier pitchers today. So I think it's an interesting slate. I do think there's going to be, heavy Yankee chalk, which I'm all about. I think that's the right way to go. But after that, like I said, maybe throw in some Giants. I think that's interesting if you don't want like Burns. But, as you mentioned, if you wanted to play Burns, you can even maybe play Devers against them today. But interesting slate all the way around, Title. Just watch that Detroit game. It's been raining here all day. If I'm going to say, I'd say it probably doesn't play. And if they do, and the other thing too is that's a division game. You know what I mean? They're going to be back here again. Like they got plenty of opportunities to make that up. And it's not like the Dodgers or something's in Detroit and they're not going to be back here where I think usually they'll wait it out a little longer. Being a division game, I think they'll be quick to just say they'll just double it up another day.
That makes sense. Again, I'm going to follow what Ross saying, orange yellow right now. Nate said he put a 25% postponement in Saber. Yeah, Noah Ronda, that's a good point. So a lot more likely to pinch hit. I do not like these Rays the more I look at it. Like Cedric Mullins is definitely now going to get some ownership, only 2.9K in the 3-hole, outfield only. This Vlade guy in the 5-hole, just outfield only, 2.3K. So they're going to get a little ownership naturally for being value. Second highest run total. That's 2 outfield spots. Williamson looks solid because he's second base and shortstop eligible. Only 2.4K in the 6-hole. But like when I keep saying all of this, Caminero again, 4.9, third base. They fit so well. If you want to go Fried, Burns, Aaron Judge, like you can play the Rays as a cheap secondary stack and make all of this fit, which I think is a really bad approach to actually do it. So Rays fall down my list a good amount. I do not like this lineup much at all, is how I see it. So again, I'd rather play Blue Jays. I'd rather play Yankees. I'd rather play Royals. I'd rather play Giants. And to be honest, I'd rather probably play both sides of this Pirates and Nats game before I'd click Rays at ownership. So that's my updated thoughts there. White Sox at this low ownership. Like you can do worse than that with solid hitting conditions, but I don't think White Sox 5-man's going to be on the winner by any means. Thank you. Ricky, everything's good over here. I appreciate it. Hope everything's going good with you. Always like to see you in the Discord. Boogie, name, good to see a lot of people trickling in. So, yeah, that's about going to do it for us. Gyiraszin already does have his MLB slate playing up. Core up there as well. Cash report is also on there. Stack rankings on both sites, hitter rankings on both sites, and pitcher rankings on both sites to go with projections and ownership for DraftKings and FanDuel. NBA, no actually NBA today, but tomorrow there's going to be some NBA, and then we'll have you covered, of course, throughout the playoffs. MMA, nice card this week. NASCAR, NHL, PGA Showdown, everything you need if you do want to join again. ShipItNation.com. Join the nation. You can find all of our packages. Final thoughts for you, Gyiraszin, before we get on out of here, besides monitor weather for KC and Detroit.
Always fun to have some day baseball to look forward to. So get to sit around and pay attention to some baseball and not have to worry about, pulling a hoop and going to bed early and not getting able to see what gets to happen. But yeah, I always enjoy some good day baseball. So looking forward to having this slate play out. We got 40 minutes. We got 2 games start right away. And then you got about an hour or two to adjust. So you don't have to run over there and jam if you don't want to play any part of those first 2 games, but a lot of games to be had here today. 6, we got 7 on FanDuel. We got 2 later ones that, they could have threw in the slate for fun. I mean, they could have just done that anyway, but yeah, we're kind of looking forward to it. Got another week, some baseball under our belts, rolling in the weekend. We got Ham and Naves on tomorrow. We got Ham on the slate on Saturday, so looking forward to that. We got some golf this weekend, Title?
Yeah, we got golf going on right now. You get a little baseball
all I hear
and
golf
golf
news
sweat.
is Liv going. That's all I hear. Making Bryson be a amateur for a year to regain his PGA status. Like if I was him, I'd go play in all the amateur events and just smoke them all. But either way, golf, that's all I hear, because the big live championships here, like down the road. So they spent a bunch of money on this course to like redo it all. They thought they signed a long contract, and wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, that's I'm definitely interested to see how that all plays out for sure. But yeah, day baseball, all 6 games, all 12 lineups are already in. You did mention FanDuel did include the Athletics and the Rangers, which is an interesting game. So that is at 3:05 Eastern. We do not have lineups for those yet, but 7 games on FanDuel, 6 games on DraftKings. All lineups are in. So again, just monitor the weather in the Detroit and the Detroit KC game. Do get in the Discord over at Shippin' Nation. And I hope you guys do well. Get some Shippin' Nation logos up top in the MLB streets and enjoy your PGA sweats as well. Get in the showdown streets for PGA if you did not do Classic or you're looking for a little more action. We have you covered. PGA Showdown, Slate Plan, Stone, and projections for day 2, 3, and 4. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate everyone hanging out. That'll do it for us. For my man, Gyiraszin, I'm Titletown. Be safe. Good luck. Peace.